The Finance Committee met earlier this week, actually I should say late last week, per the referral of the full council on a discussion of the town's free cash position and strategic options for the town. It's probably like my favorite meeting I've had, or one of the favorite meetings I've had, been a part of since I've been on the town council and board of selectmen prior to that. You know, and I was really appreciative of the open approach that our town manager takes and the priority that he puts on building a coalition. I think that's really critical to have that open dialogue, and you know, really there was just a great give and take at that meeting. I think it's going to, you know, put our town in the best, you know, have the best outcome for what we're going to do with this free cash strategy. So again, really encourage folks to take a look at that meeting. It was a good one. So the context of the meeting while we had it, you know, the town had has about $4.5 million in free cash, 7.2 approximately in stabilization. It's a very unique position due to many factors that we've already discussed at length at this meeting, other meetings, departmental turnbacks, hiring freeze, the budget cuts, etc. The purpose of the meeting was to provide council input to the town manager's plan that he shared with us last week. The overall strategy with how and where we can leverage, save, or invest this free cash that we have on hand in an effort to make sure the money is invested as wisely and efficiently as possible. We ended up looking at the situation very holistically, in that free cash plus stabilization plus CIP, capital and improvement plan, are all so directly interwoven. You really have to account for all three in any kind of conversation where you're talking about that. So, for example, free cash is being used as part of the CIP plan this year, as we'll see later tonight. So it's the conversation was, I think, by default or by necessity, was very holistic and interwoven that way. During the meeting, town manager board provided a deep dive into the PowerPoint slide he shared with the council at a last meeting. If you recall, that was the 5 buckets of how they would leverage the free cash: snow and ice, schools, capital improvements, one-time purchases, and departmental operational funding for CARES and FEMA. There was additional discussion amongst the committee and with the town manager that included consideration of returning money back to the departments, paying off the town's highest priced debt, bolstering the town's OPEB position, you know, potentially revisiting the free cash and OPEB, or creating an OPEB policy for the town, given the increasing liabilities of OPEB, putting the money into a capital, or putting some money into a capital improvement stabilization fund, which I think a lot of us didn't realize exists, but does exist and has $0 in it today, and leveraging free cash to make investments that will accelerate economic growth and the ongoing economic growth efforts of the town. In sum, town manager Borg recommended that we make this meeting an annual event as part of the regular budget planning process. I definitely agree with that idea. Great way to get council input early on, and I think we'll make the budget that ultimately is submitted before town council much more representative of council input. And in the end, I think it makes the budget approval process a more collaborative and effective effort. So a very positive outcome from that meeting, I think. Yeah, and like I said before, if you didn't happen to catch it, I definitely would encourage you to watch it on North TV.